And welcome back, ladies, gentlemen. Don't forget the Gungans. We don't want to forget about the droids. And you know what? Today we're going to talk a little bit about Old Republic as well. You know, we don't give you guys much of a shout out, but today we are in today's late night episode of AHN Arnold Holland News. The only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. We got a lot of weird stuff going on in Star Wars Galaxies. We have the Punishing One here coming out tomorrow. Rollouts kind of a little bit unfortunate compared to Galactic Chases. I digress. We've already talked about that, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it because this marquee event's even weird. But you know what's even weirder? I don't know if I'm biting, but some people are saying there's a leak or a teaser for a new Star Wars Galaxy Heroes game mode. We're going to talk about that. Estimated Baylan Skull release date and a couple other things in between all that, my friends, especially your favorite two-letter word. It starts with a D, ends with a C. Datacrons. Yes, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. So people, let's get on over and start showing you what we got cooking in this kitchen. So we know that Punishing One is coming to the game. It's going to be added to the marquee event tomorrow. It's not a Galactic Chase, unfortunately. Again, it's a big loss to us as a community. But I suspect Capital Games, they're not doing any more Galactic Chase. I don't want to say any more, but they're not making this a Galactic Chase because they probably just don't make nearly as much money on these things. That's why they don't also do as many ships. I suspect that ships probably get less sales than characters, just like from a unit basis. And if you're doing Galactic Chases, then it's even cheaper. So I don't know, just my guesstimation. I like the Galactic Chase model they're going with this. It is bogus. But people, we got to start talking about some other stuff that we got. We're going to talk about the Datacron. Don't worry, I'm not going to jump on the Datacron yet. I want to talk about this. I got pinged by a few people saying, "I know there's a leak." First, I don't think this is a leak. I think if anything, if we're going to go at the minimum, this might be a teaser. Let's give some context. You know, Meathead Militia, community manager for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. He likes to frequent the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes events Discord server, hang out with people. You know, it's cool. He's doing his job. He's being a community manager, right? Well, there was some conversation going. I believe the context was people were arguing, what's better, PvP, PvE, what's better? You know, Rise of the Empire, Grand Arena. It's obviously Grand Arena. There's no comparison. And then Meathead kind of jumped in and then said, also, PvE VP is greater than the conversation of PvP versus PvE. Now, some people are, I want to be excited, trust me, that this is inferring there's a new game mode coming. If you guys don't know what PvE VP is, PvE, there's pretty much two branches of gameplay for the most part when playing a game. You have PvE, which is player versus environment, PvP, which is player versus player. So imagine, for example, PvP, I'm just gonna throw Call of Duty out there. PvP is when you're inside a lobby, you're playing multiplayer, you're playing team deathmatch. That's PvP. PvE is like Call of Duty Zombies, where you're just playing against a bunch of, AI, environmental controlled zombies. And we kind of have that here, Rise of the Empires, PvE. I mean, in this game, let's be real. In Galaxies, we do not have a true PvP. I know we refer to Squad Arena and Grand Arena as PvP. I would say that's probably close to PvP, PvE, which is supposed to hybrid the two. And if you think about it, we're placing a defense down, right? And we just kind of let the environment take over those defenses that we set, and the PvP portion is us, fighting it. So maybe you can argue Grand Arena territories is PvP, VE. Anyways, or PvE, VP, whatever, too many VPEs out there. I'm just going to say, I'm someone that wants to be excited. I'm sure there's probably a game mode in development out there. I don't know if this is our teaser, leak, whatever you want to coin the term here, that something is in fact coming around the corner. I think this is Meathead Militia chatting with the community out there and just kind of throwing his 2 cents in the debate, and it's kind of playing both sides. It's PvE, VP, PvP, PvE. They're all great. So I don't know, you take it as well. Maybe you're more optimistic than I am. Again, I'm not saying there is no gameplay being developed out there. I'm sure there's probably something, but I don't think this necessarily means there's something that's coming out like shortly. So take it as you will. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but trust me, if I see something more that would indicate there's something like imminent, like coming to the gang, I'll let you guys know. But you know what is imminently coming? God dang, this Punishing One. First off, I want to say a lot of people have been asking if I can do 3-star testing. Good news, I will be doing 3-star testing of the Punishing One tomorrow. This is the traditional marquee event, so I'm eventually get it to 2. I'm guessing 3 stars as well for the Punishing One. But because I have a free-to-play account that has the executor and an executor at low stars, we're going to be doing low-star Punishing One testing and 7-star Punishing One testing. So be sure to stay tuned. We're looking forward to it. However, the marquee event is a little weird, is a little odd, if you ask me here, where it's looking like there's some like mini like basically mini executor requirements, where you're gonna need the punishing one at 7 stars, which we're used to at the new marquee structure. But then you're gonna need Razor Crest at 5 stars, Executor 4 stars, Houndstooth at 4 stars, and Dangar himself at Relic 3 or above. Yikes. I mean, I know the ship's looking good, right? I didn't see anyone say that this ship looks bad. I think everyone's like either, wow, this is amazing, or wow, this is broken and stupid. But they're basically, this is almost like, my gosh, this is almost like, I don't want to say like a legendary event, but it's kind of getting up there. So I'm just saying this, if you're planning on, let's say, whaling on the punishing one, and right now the strategy has been people whale to 6 stars, and then they farm the 7th tier. If you don't have these requirements, which, if you have the Executor, this shouldn't be a big problem for the most part. You might be in trouble. So again, kind of some weird stuff they're doing. Not a galactic chase, and they're going for this marquee structure that's kind of a little weird, kind of a little bit more extreme. There's always a slider, pay to win, free to play. It's definitely creeping on the scale of more pay to win, more paywall gates, I should say. And that's going to be that for that portion of our conversation. Now we're going to move on to Datacrons. Kind of some weird stuff happening here, and I think this is going to translate into our next conversation on a more estimated date on when Baylan skulls come out. I love that we all got to speculate and guess. It's kind of fun, though. It would be nice getting the straight answer to us. We have a new Datacron set here in Star Wars Galaxy of Hero called the No Mercy Datacron. Let's go hop over in game and take a little closer look at this here. Now, this is kind of weird because if you know, you know. Well, this seems a little early for a Datacron to be released. A new set, that I should say. Generally, we get the next new set like on the 3rd leg of a conquest cycle, right? I mean, which we are. We're about to get into the 3rd leg. But we're kind of like a week early. Like generally next week, we would get the Datacron set drop, and then a couple days later, the new conquest starts, or the last one for Ezra, I should say, and you start farming the materials. However, they're releasing it today. And that's funny enough, they don't even have any notes on their website as far as I can tell. You basically either have to go to swgoh.gg, or like, for example, I picked up one of my Shard Shop currency to see it in game. So we're gonna just quickly go over the bullet points of this. I would say this isn't like super nutty crazy, like the purple sets that are about to go away, the support crown, the attacker crown. However, there's a few key things here that are pretty evident. They're gonna be pretty darn good. Mostly the mercenaries. So we've been running this theory that Balen Skull is gonna be released sometime within the next Datacron cycle, which is this one. Well, I would say this probably leads into that theory because, well, mercenaries are a part of this Datacron set, and mercenaries without Balen Skull, we show that there's some cute stuff you can do, but nothing meaningful. So again, I'm pretty confident we're gonna see Balen Skull the next 2 weeks. And let's just cut to the Balen Skull before we talk about the Datacrons. So in case you folks don't want to listen to Datacrons, I get it. I don't blame you. If we go ahead and pull up the SWGOH event server store data mine, which is right over here. Let's go ahead and pop that open right now. If you take a look at this, we're seeing that around like October 30th, we are getting pretty much all of the, not Maroc requirements, the Balen Skull requirements. We're seeing Shin's making a return, Morgan Elswith making a turn, Great Mother's making a turn, Maroc, Shin Hadi. So I would say this is probably your indication. If they're releasing all these bundles, they're probably trying to time out when Balen Skull's coming. They want to get those like last minute purchasers that like, I was so close, but I need to whale a little bit more on these characters. So that's my guess. That probably around, again, we've been saying like end of October is probably when we're going to see Balen Skull. So my guess, probably towards the end of the month, around this like 10/29, 10/31 period. It'd be kind of funny. This ends up being on Halloween. A little spooky, little Night Sisters, Great Mothers. Yeah, let's get a little spookiness in there. So that's my tinfoil hat theory. We've been running with this theory for a while, but it seems like the theory is getting narrow. See, I don't mind wearing a tinfoil hat sometimes, I mean, I wish I could have. The tinfoil hat just wasn't speaking to me with that, leak, tease, PVEVPEEPEEPPP. Anyways, let's go break down this Datacron set real quick for those that care, and then we have like a few minor notes at the very end. So the main bullet points are here: mercenaries, unaligned force user, Old Republic, getting some love, and there are a couple of key characters that are going to be pretty nice. I want to say this, I know it's not new, but I've been appreciating that Capital Games only has like 1 level 9 ability per character. It was the worst when they had like 2 or 3 per character, and my luck, especially because I don't like wail hard on these Datacrons, I always get the wrong one. So I appreciate they're narrowing the level 9. So make sure if you're trying to get a character, at least, yes, there's several characters, you might get the bad character, but at least when you do get the character you want, it's only 1 Datacron. They spread it out with more characters rather than 1 character with multiple abilities. Anyways, I'm chit-chatting away here. Light side mechanics, there's really nothing that really stands out. That's amazing. Some of these are going to be more important when you tie into the level 9s and maybe some level 6s here. Nothing that's really jumping out with me with these level 3s that we have. Some kind of repeats like evasion up, health up, health up. That's kind of what we have for Darkseid right now. They've been kind of reusing some of these Datacron abilities that they have. The Darkseid mechanics where things get a lot interesting. This is where you can start theorizing. If you are going to buy into my Baylan Skull's coming soon, which I think it's pretty clear. I think it's like 90% certain right now because of the mercenaries being involved with this Datacron set. This right here, they've already alluded that he's going to be like this brutal tank for Baylan Skull. So Darkseid tanks defeated, they get to revive 100% health, reset their cooldowns, gain a bonus turn. Remember when Malgus had something like that? Yeah, that was kind of annoying. So I suspect that's going to be great. Also, we have the turn meter for Darkseid, which is great. 15% turn meter is great. And then we have at the start of the encounter, Darkseid allies gain 15% max health, max protection for each other Darkseid ally. So we're going to have some pretty beefy Darkseid teams. Malgus, for example, it's just going to be a question of what's better for a Baylan Skull team, that or the tank revive. Moving on to the factions here. We have the mercenaries. So again, Baylan Skull, I'm pretty sure is coming around the corner, but I think at the very minimum, the most important one that's likely going to be here. I mean, yeah, the 400% offense is pretty nice. Don't get me wrong. We've had that for other Datacron sets. This right here, at the start of each of their turns, mercenary allies have 2% offense, equal to the stack of Soldier Fortune they have. So we haven't really seen Soldier Fortune be too helpful, but when you have 20, 30 stacks of Soldier Fortune, it's going to add up. And then whenever an enemy attacks on a turn, they take bonus true damage. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be the one that we're going to be shooting for unaligned force users. We're going to see Malicos, Star Killer. I guess, also Riva, all those unaligned force users. Going to be getting a lot of love. Check this out. Whenever Darkseid or Lights at unaligned force user critically hits an enemy, dispel all debuffs on themselves, gain 5% turn meter. Whenever Darkseid unaligned force user allied, use the special ability against an enemy with at least 3 debuffs, reduce that enemy's max health by 5%. Then whenever a Darkseid unaligned force user uses a special ability, when they have 3 buffs that can be dispelled, they gain 5% max health. So there's a lot of unaligned force users. Malicos, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Rey, I suppose, as well. I'm guessing Balen's gonna be unaligned force user, but I think the mercenaries probably gonna be a little bit more important. The other stuff, nothing too crazy. That's pretty much the main forte here. Now, the Old Republic, I don't want to waste too much of our time on this. The level 6s don't look too appealing. They're gonna be a little bit more important when you look at the level 9s here, but there's nothing that like jumps out that, wow, this is drastically different just because of these level 6s. So that's where we take ourselves to the level 9 character abilities. Jolie Bindel, okay. He gets 25% turn again, nothing too special. Mara Jade's got some decent stuff here. Whenever an ally with less than 100% turn meter gains bonus turn meter, they're going to get 3% critical chance, critical damage. So that's going to be nice, right? And then whenever enemies inflict a shock, they take damage equal to 10% of max health. It's all right. Nothing too crazy, though. Nothing too crazy, but check this out. Karth, this is where we're going to see that real love for Old Republic. Man, Karth is... I've been never a big fan of Karth. Even when he was semi-meta, I just never really wanted to upgrade him. He's gonna have 100% max health, max protection, potency, 50% turn meter whenever another character ends their turn. Whenever another character means ally or enemy. So that's kind of a big deal. Whenever he uses the basic ability, he attacks 2 more times. But check this out. We have a couple interesting things here. Whenever Old Republic ally resists debuff, they dispel all debuffs on themselves and gain constant stacking tenacity. Almost feels like the Old Republic card team inside of Conquest. Whenever an Old Republic ally's daze, they dispel it. When they dispel daze, they get turn meter. And then also, when he uses a special ability, he triggers the damage of all damage over time debuffs on enemies. This sounds like a lot of fun. How it's going to work in application, hard to say, because it's kind of easy in general to take care of those damage over time. But whenever an enemy is defeated, he's going to get 25% offense, critical damage, cooldowns are reset, 100% turn meter. Pretty nice. Juhani, nothing too special, 50% turn removal. Grand Inquisitor, I guess it's going to help Riva at least resist the fear. Right now Riva's already immune to stun, but if you're immune to fear, that makes counters like Malgus a lot more complicated. Being able to get 50% turn meter, damage ability for 1 turn, and their cooldowns are reset, which is nice. Kylo Ren, nothing too special. T3 and 4, there might be a way to make it interesting, getting 25% turn meter if you could somehow keep getting him to assist, but it's only on their turn, so that doesn't seem all that special. Jango Fett, 20% damage reflected if he's a damage, but generally he has I guess maybe in a Maul team it could be nice, but we already have a Maul Datacron here. And then Dengar, whenever an enemy takes turn, Dengar takes a bonus turn. This sounds a lot of fun. We've had things like this in the past. Remember when Dash Rendar had this during his bonus turn, 100% more damage, or even Sabine, I guess, currently. Moving on, 8th brother, nothing too special. We're gonna get Super Hondo again. I have a love-hate relationship with Hondo. I'm generally not using him meaningfully most of the time. But man, Super Hondo, that was kind of a wild thing when we had it when he first came out. Whenever Hondo uses a basic ability, He's going to get 9 stacks of additional ransom, protection up 100%, and reduces cooldowns by 1. Yeah, crazy Hondo stuff. I'm looking forward to. I want to see that Mad Lad tear apart the hollow table. But speaking of tearing apart the hollow table, Starkiller's going to be doing that. Whenever another ally uses ability on their turn, Starkiller assists, dealing 50% more damage. So first off, this is going to be great in territories where, you know, unless you have like Juhani's, Omicron, or whatever, or even in Grand Arena, he only can assist off Sith that are using their basics. Well, this is going to be amazing. So Starkiller, I've been complaining that Starkiller feels a little wishy-washy lately. I think that's going to solve a lot of his problems. Pretty fast ultimate on him. Or saying, Maul might be nice when he's defeated. Revives 100% health. Heal over time. Takes a bonus turn. Could be nice. I mean, generally, I feel like if I'm losing Maul, I kind of lost the match. But this could be nice, for example, with Lord Vader potentially. This was annoying. It's been a while. They're bringing the Shorty Datacron back where she constantly spams out spare parts to the droids. That was annoying, man. That was rough. Mission, nothing too special. Shin, again, I think for mercenaries, it's likely they're going to likely release a Baylan Skull Datacron. They've even said themselves that Baylan Skull will be getting some exclusive Datacron, I believe. When Gary fact-checked me. All right, Gary says I'm telling the truth. So if he incorrectly fact-checked me, it's his fault. I don't know if you're going to be using Shins. And then we have Terran Malicos. Yeah. It's gonna be good. Lots of Edge of Madness, resilient defense, so he's constantly taunting basically. I think this is a repeat Datacron. We've had it before, but nonetheless, really good. Zalbar, I don't know. You know, it could be good. You know, Zalbar recovers 20% health and protection. He gets more damage over times out there. I think Karth is probably gonna be the better Old Republic one that we have. And then regarding stats, we're looking at crit damage, potency, protection, crit chance, health steal, tenacity. It's mostly going to be that health and protection are probably, and critical damage, I should say, that are probably going to be the big ones for those stats here. So overall, I would say mild tame set, which I'm fine. Again, you know me, I don't want to get my Datacron spiel going. But the less crazy Datacrons on it means the less hard you guys got to work, the less frustration I got to go through, hoping I get the right RNG, finding the Datacrons I need. Couple of key ones. I'm going to be a little bit more on top of things. We're updating Datacron set on my spreadsheet. I'll let you guys know when that is updated, and just a few little more tidbits that I want to go over with you guys with the update notes that we have here. Punishing one event, well, we already know that's coming out tomorrow. Captain Enoch has Fireball and Lightside 8C. They moved Snowtrooper over to Galactic War. Nice, and the Snowtrooper's not really needed for anything, but still, it's nice that Snowtrooper is on Galactic War. It should not be on the hard battles here. We have Shin is in the Chromium pack. So again, I'm feeling you're not gonna have time to farm Baylan free to play when he drops. I think they're like, yeah, I think we're gonna probably have Shin and Marak being a difficult characters to farm. And then otherwise, nothing too interesting here. However, I thought they maybe fixed the Marak unique ability. That said fixed an incorrect description for Marak on some ability tiers. I thought that was referring to what we discovered regarding his bugged unique ability where he is cleansing no matter if the enemy or allies are consuming Dispelling Purge, but it doesn't read any differently. It still says the same, dispel demons from a random Inquisitor's ally, whatever stack of Purge is consumed or dispelled by any Inquisitor's ally. So I don't know if they fixed it. The notes don't suggest otherwise. If you don't know what's going on, Marak is way better than originally anticipated because this does not match what the code is saying, and the code is a lot better than what this is reading. So we already showed some stuff about that. But anyways, folks, that's gonna be all for today on your late night on Old HoloNet News, my friend. Whew, man, oh man, we are gonna have a fun time tomorrow. So people, make sure you come on over. We're gonna be going over all the fun little tidbits that we're gonna do a Punish one, 3 stars, 4 stars, all that fun jazz. And you know what? Until we meet again, everyone, I just need you guys to remember, it's great to be in the Empire. Hold on, I gotta milk this today.